You need to stop playing Jackal and start playing Dokkaebi, and here's why. What's up guys, my name's Alka, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to play Dokkaebi in Year 7 of Rainbow Six Siege. We're going to go over things like her loadout, what guns you should be using, as well as how to use her gadget with some various tips along the way, and at the end of the video I'm going to give you some in-game examples, so stick around till the end of the video to see that. With that out of the way, enjoy the video. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about Dokkaebi's loadout. She has the option between the Mark 14 EBR, a very good DMR in my opinion. It has 60 damage, a good enough fire rate if your trigger finger is good enough, and 20 rounds for the capacity. It has a lot of different variations for the attachments that you can run because the recoil is not that hard to control. Personally, I run the vertical grip with muzzle brake, but angled grip is also an option that you can run. It does have a wide variety of scopes. I am really good with the 1.5. That's just my personal playstyle as a second entry player. Also, with my aspect ratio being 4:3, I'm just very comfortable on the 1.5. But on longer range maps, or if you just want a better scope, you have the option between the 2x, the 2.5a, the 2.5b, and even the 3x. The 3x can be good on maps like Chalet or Bank where there's a lot of open space that you can rappel onto, so maybe give that a try, but personally I would equip the 1.5 as it does suit my playstyle similar to the 2x. She does have the option between the vertical and angled grip like I said. The angled grip is actually viable here. The recoil on this gun is not that hard to control, but personally I like to play it safe and just equip the vertical grip, especially after the angled grip nerf where it actually does take more time to ADS. I find the vertical grip being more bang for its buck in terms of usefulness, so I would equip the vertical grip. And then finally you go into the barrel attachments. You have the option between the flash hider, the suppressor, and the muzzle brake. If you take a look at the recoil in the bottom right here, there is a lot of X recoil, which I didn't really know, so flash hider is a viable option, but personally I like muzzle brake. Muzzle brake on DMRs, a lot of the times muzzle brake decreases that first to second shot up and down recoil, which is what you're going to want on single shot weapons in the first place. So if you have a DMR, if you have a pistol, always equip muzzle brake on it unless there's really no recoil at all. But if you take a look at the recoil pattern in the bottom right, if you equip muzzle brake, the recoil really is not that hard to control, and if you learn how to manage that fire rate, you don't have to worry about the orange and red area where there is a lot of X recoil because you can let your gun reset and then start shooting again. So I wouldn't personally equip the flash hider. I wouldn't personally equip a suppressor either. It does decrease that damage a little bit, but with the playstyle of Dokkaebi, you don't really want a silenced weapon compared to something like a muzzle brake. It just doesn't really make sense with her playstyle, which I will explain later. Next, she has the Boss G. I wouldn't equip this. This is a 2-bullet shotgun. It does have 125 damage, and it comes with a variety of good scopes. If you're good with this thing, it can be very good, but it's just not versatile enough, and there's not a lot of things you can do with it, especially if you're bringing the Gon 6 as your secondary. So I would not bring the Boss G in any situation. This goes for Vigil, who brings the Boss G as well. Just don't bring the Boss G. It's not a good gun compared to something like the DMR with a lot more versatility. Then you go into her secondary. She has the SMG-12 and the Gon 6. If you have a DMR, having a secondary that's automatic is not a bad idea, but the Gon 6 can break a lot of utility, so personally, that's what I run. This is one of those options where it kinda is just personal preference. If you do make the mistake of running the Boss G, always run the SMG-12 because you have very limited ammo on this Boss G unless you're playing extremely reserved. You're always going to want to bring that SMG-12. So next, going into our secondary gadgets, this could be kind of any way that you want it to be. If you have a coordinated push and you need certain things like burn, you'll want to bring flash grenades. If you have a coordinated push and your team needs smokes and you're trying to get plant down and you're playing more with your team, then smokes is going to be viable. But if you're roam clearing with Dokkaebi and you're solo queuing, which is what you should be doing, flashes are going to be more useful to you. So overall, the main loadout that you should be running going into playing Dokkaebi is the Mark 14, the Gon 6, and the stun grenades. Alright, so I brought you into a custom game to just kind of show you how Dokkaebi works. So Dokkaebi, in terms of like what she does and her role with her team, she's a roam clearer. This can be played by a multitude of different people, but normally it's going to be played by your third entry and flex people. So knowing that, what you'd want to do is you'd want to be droned in by your supports, and then you'd go in and start roam clearing immediately. Now, Dokkaebi, Jackal, and Lion are all in the same category in terms of what they do, but their function essentially is just lazy droning. So if I weren't Dokkaebi and I was just a normal character and I wanted to clear third floor, maybe second floor to go to kitchen, I would drone in like this, and I would spend all this time droning red stairs. I'd spend all this time droning on the CS, heaven, you have all the way into piano, you have all the way into freezer, all of bar, bathroom, Whitehall, bar 2, bar 1, all of Cigar Shop, all of Heaven, Freezer, top white stairs. Like, it's a lot to clear with just a drone, maybe two if you're not solo queuing, right? So what Dokkaebi, Lion, and Jackal do is they make it extremely easy. Let me shoot this radio. They make it extremely easy to roam clear very efficiently, which is why they're banned so often in ranked. So due to this, what you'll see a lot of players do is they'll go in, they'll drop immediately, and they'll start calling, right? So Dokkaebi has the ability, something called a logic bomb, and what this does is essentially you activate it and you hear phones on defenders. This is what it sounds like. So that's what a phone call sounds like. After a while, you'll see it just deactivates, but defenders can either A, step in a mute jammer and the effect of the Dokkaebi call is just done, or they can sit in a little animation and turn their phone off. This does lock them in an animation, and a phone does cover like a large portion of their screen, so it's really good to bait into doing kills. But that's essentially what it does, is it's a huge sound call to help you pinpoint defenders that are roaming or defenders that are inside, whatever. So with this phone call, what you can do as Dokkaebi is instead of just randomly calling and then dropping into a hatch and starting to clear, what you can do is play it really safely. So if I'm on top of the hatch, I send my drone down, I drone the initial room that I start in, and then I go into that initial room and then I call in order to clear the rest of the floor. So this looks like me droning down the red stairs. Okay, red stairs is clear. I go into here. New balc's clear. Cigar shop's clear. CS box is clear. No one looks to be on the side of piano. Okay, I can safely drop red stairs. Now I'm in red stairs. Now instead of getting back on my drone and having to re-drone everything, I can just simply call. And now I know, because I can't hear anything on this side, no one's here. I don't hear anything in this room, no one's here, but I hear somebody here. So I know to aim, go in, and start head clearing with a refrag preferably or somebody behind you, but it just makes roam clearing a lot easier than just getting on your drone and having to drone every single individual room, finding him, then probably moving, and then you having to head clear and roam clear again. So Jackal, same thing, you drone out the initial room, you drop, you scan footprints. Lion, same thing, you drone the initial room, drop, scan. Really, really easy way to roam clear. So there's a secondary function to Dokkaebi that is, again, just use of the phone. Defenders spawn in with phones. Every defender spawns in with phones. This is obviously so that you can call people, but whenever you kill a defender, they drop a phone like this. As you can see, it's a huge phone, and you can see the icon of the phone through walls and stuff. So if you have somebody like clearing top floor with you and they get a kill across the map, you'll see that phone and you can go over to it and use it. So what does getting phones do? If you hover over the phone and you hold F, that's what it does. So now, whenever you hack a phone, it just gives you access to all defender cams. So if I press 5, I have all of the default cams on attack. So this is extremely huge, and it works not only on default cams, but it works on any other cameras, bulletproof cams, echo cams, maestro cams, Mozzie drones, anything. So not only is Dokkaebi good for roam clearing, but she has a separate function that allows you to get any defender cams that you want. So that is what separates her from any other roam clearer like Lion and Jackal, and that's why you'd want to pick her up, especially if you're on a team that's helping you roam clear, as opposed to any other attackers that you could pick. That's what sets her apart, essentially. And this is really, really good if you know they're playing a Valkyrie, if you know that they have any sort of cams at all. This is just really good because a lot of times they have cams on site. So let's say this maestro cam right here, if I know that they're on the site, having access to this maestro cam is huge because now I can see into inner bar, bar 1, bar 2, I can see the CS double, I can see the freezer rotate, I can see all the freezer. It just makes it very easy to turn the tides of the round once you have defender cams. So a tip with Dokkaebi, yes, if you shoot a default cam, now you don't get access to it, it's still X'd out. So a tip with Dokkaebi is if you're playing Dokkaebi, don't shoot default cams. Now, there are certain exceptions to that, like if you're going to be playing under a default cam the entire time and it's not really giving you info, you might as well shoot it. This cam right here is a good example of that. It's kind of a 50-50. You can shoot it because if you already have control of new balc and you already kind of know where they are, this isn't really watching any flanks except for like maybe brown stairs. So shooting that cam that gives defenders a lot of info is really good. But shooting a camera, let's say if there's an echo cam in like Whitehall or a maestro cam in Whitehall, which I actually think there is over here. Yeah, right there. Shooting that would not be good because it gives you a white flank, right? So if I'm coming into piano and let's say that I plant in the default plant into bar, this gives me a flank cam. So I don't have to get on my drone, I don't have to use an air jab or gridlock tracks, whatever. This is a great example of a cam that you wouldn't shoot compared to the cam over here that you would shoot. You just kind of have to figure out the ratio of like, is this more useful for defenders or is this more useful for attackers? That's just something you have to keep in mind. So now that you kind of know how to play Dokkaebi and what you do with her, I'll give you just a little bit of advanced tips that you can do with Dokkaebi. So if you remember back to the loadout section of the video, I talked about having the DMR over a Boss G. Yes, they're both single shot, and because of that, they're not very good weapons, but another reason you'd want to run the DMR over the Boss G is because it's extremely good at soft destruction. Jesus Christ, I'm stuttering. So if I want to open this hatch, I don't actually have to use the Gon 6 as my secondary or any soft breaching utility. I can actually just shoot it open like this. And that hatch is gone. It does waste a little bit of bullets, but having that instead of using utility is always going to be really good. It's also good at destroying walls like this, you know, making head holes, feet holes, whatever you want. I think it even might be good on like vertical play like this. So yeah, you can make pretty large holes pretty easily with a considerable amount of ammo. So just another reason you want to run the DMR over the shotgun, and then having a Gon 6 as your secondary for even more destruction makes Dokkaebi a very, very versatile operator that I think you should start picking up immediately. Also, if I get on my cams, I do have access to all these cameras like Maestro cams, Echo cams, but I don't actually get to use the function of the cams. I just get to see out of them. So cams that can move include Echo and Mozzie drones, but as you can see, I can't jump or move with them. And then cams that can shoot things like Echo cams or Maestro cams, I can't open the camera and shoot it. So that is a little limiting, but just know whenever you get cameras, you're not able to actually use the function of any of the cameras. You're only allowed to see through them. So with that being said, I think that's pretty much it for the instructional and tip part of the video. I'm going to bring you into some gameplay clips and hopefully break down some of the points that I make whenever I'm playing Dokkaebi, just to give you a better idea of how you should be playing Dokkaebi in year 7 of Rainbow Six Siege. Alright, so we're in an unranked game. I'm bringing Dokkaebi on Clubhouse. So one thing that I do want to say whenever you're solo queuing in general, especially playing a roam clearing operator like Dokkaebi or Jackal, is you want to save your prep phase drone. And saving your drone just looks like not driving it into sight and getting it killed, but it also doesn't mean you just have your drone sitting in sight. Like, you want to collect some info. So solo queuing Dokkaebi, I want to roam clear. That's my main objective. And I want to help my teammates get into the site. Oop, a little bit of lag. I want to help my teammates get into site by kind of taking pressure off of the people off site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go rappel onto this roof. I think my teammate shot the default cam for me, so I don't have to worry about that. Jeez, why am I lagging? Break the hatch for the DMR. Okay, now we're going to do what I talked about, which is we're just going to drone the initial room that we're going to drop in. Right, so Logi's clear, Files is clear, Gold is clear. Sounds like one's top man. He's a master. Hey, one's master. So I'm gonna drop in, hold the angle on the door, find a safe place, then call.
I'll give them a call.
You have dropped the diffuser.
I think I heard him main stairs. I'm not sure. Yeah, main stairs. Cool, got one. Now, actually, I don't know why I did that. That would be a good cam to keep up because it watches my flank for me, and it's not going to be watching me most of the round. I'm going to call again because I know Zami's here. Okay, it's zombied off. So, I'm pretty sure she's in con right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these cams. They do have Valkyrie, so this is really good. Now we have Valk cams. I'm gonna drone myself in. My teammate fell off the roof. Picking him up is probably not good right now. Con looks to be clear. If I can get a pick here, I might go res him, actually. Oh, wow. Okay. So, lost the gunfight there. He quick peeked me, unfortunate. But that was a pretty good example of what you do as Dokkaebi. You drop in the initial room after droning it, and then you don't have to worry about droning all the other rooms because you have a phone call. And that phone call got me a free kill. It got me defender cams, it got me Valk cams, which got me actually cams into sight because they had a Valk cam in con. So that's where those red pings were coming from. It sucks that my team died really fast. I wasn't really playing with them like I should have been, but that was a good example of how to solo as Dokkaebi. Obviously, I could have clutched around, but I'm not really warmed up. I came in here to do content, so it is what it is. We keep going. Nice, we got a kill. So, again, we drowned out the initial room. I'm just going to call really quickly, get some info. Sounds like one's top man. Could have been bottom man. I'm going to drone this kid
Bomb
out.
has been located.
Probably bottom man, but I'm just doing this to be safe. Yeah, it looks like that's fine. I'm going to go and get cams. Wait.
Let's see what
I'm
they're
tripping.
up to.
I'm tripping.
You located
Okay.
a bomb.
We have feeds. Our Monty's in with diffuser right now, so I'm actually going to call for him. Okay, didn't know they had that. I'm going to burn. Got the shield. One's Moto. Wow, okay. I thought that was a teammate.
I'm with Maestro. I'm with Maestro.
Swapping.
You're with my shirt? I'm gonna push with you then. Smoke was in church. She's pretty lit up, I think. He went garage, sounds like.
You have dropped the diffuser. One friendly operator
That
remaining.
one's right above me. Right above me. Whoa, I'm tripping. Was he oil pit? He had to have been oil pit. I knew it! Okay, I knew it. Sound kind of got the best of me there. I thought I heard him rafters, but he was oil pit, unfortunate. I know those examples kind of sucked because I lost a round, but you get the picture of what I was trying to do there. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Like the video if you liked it. My name's Alka, and I'll see you in the next one.